Hey guys, it's the MBBC here, back with another video for competitive Beyblade X, and I've got a very exciting one. It's the ultimate competitive Beyblade X deck building guide. So just to preface, for YouTube, so we don't get hit with a made for kids strike, this video is not made for kids. It is for audiences over the age of 13. Anyway, let's get right into it. So, competitive Beyblade X. Well, I'm sure, like many of you guys in your competitive Beyblade X scenes, the rules are more or less the same. 3 Beyblades in a deck, no repeating parts. Takara Tomy, they play first to 4 points. Here in Australia, we actually play first to 5 points. Anyways, so basic rundown of a deck: 2 attack, 1 defense. Now, I just want to preface by saying that this is not set in stone, and I actually don't know the best composition, but 2 attack, 1 defense is definitely the most consistent. Based on tournament data released by the BBTA, we run many tournaments in the many states of Australia. Some events get above 50 people, and we're capped because of the venue. So those events, 2 attack, 1 defense usually wins. It's the most consistent. Myself, I've run 2 defense, 1 attack at one big tournament. I didn't do so well. So I think it's just the fact that attack types are really good. They're really good. This format so far in Beyblade X, most of the best bays are attack types or can be used as attack types. So if you run triple defense, I don't know. We don't know. Triple attack is not so good because you still need your defense to secure points, but we'll get into that later. So basically, the most consistent deck you want to be running is 2 attack, 1 defense. Next are your 3 different bays. All right. The 2 attacks are actually built differently. So let's just go through it right now. Number one, you've got your Trusty Attack. So these guys are going to be your main point getters with the attack base. They're going to be consistent and they're going to be strong. Next are your defense base slash stamina base, your Trusty Defense. So this is Trusty Attack, Trusty Defense. And Trusty Defense, they're meant to get that 1 point. You send them out, you guarantee get the point. But you don't want too many of them because Beyblade X is unpredictable. You might get over finish, and that's game over basically. Extreme finish, sorry. And then lastly, you've got your one-shot kill Beyblades. Now these are interesting because they're one-shot kill Beyblades because they basically have to kill your opponent in one shot. Otherwise, they're just gonna lose. And you can see it in the Beyblade like Whale and Shark. They probably get the most points, except it's like 50-50. They either get the points or they don't get the points. That's why they're one-shot kills. And that's what makes them different from the Trusty Attack. All right. So now that we've defined that a deck, the best deck, is made up of a Trusty Attack, a Trusty Defense, and a one-shot kill attack Beyblade, let's dive into these archetypes specifically. Okay. So I just want to preface with these bays that most of the time it's actually defined by like the bit and the ratchet, and the blade is secondary. All right, the blades can be interchangeable. You can run Phoenix as a defense. You can run Whale as your Trusty Attack. It doesn't really matter. What matters is actually the bit and the ratchet because you can't repeat parts. All right, let's get into it. So, Trusty Attack. Trusty Attack. Who do you want to run for your Trusty Attack? Well, the main one is probably Phoenix Wing, 160 Rush. Why Phoenix Wing? Well, it's one of the heaviest Beyblades. I think it's 38 grams, tied with Whale, or secondary to Whale, but it's very close. It's really good. It has a really good attack type matchup. And it doesn't do so well against defense, but that's how it is. Oh yeah, by the way, just want to say it's like a type chart. One type of the Bay does well against the other type. So basically, Your Trusty Attack usually will beat your one-shot kills. Your one-shot kills have a high chance at beating your Trusty Defense, and your Trusty Defense have a higher chance of beating your Trusty Attack. It's just like that. That's a deck composition. So moving on. So Phoenix, really good attack type matchup. And that's probably attributed to the bit Rush. So Rush is something you want to put on your Trusty attackers. It has high stamina, but it's aggressive. And high stamina is something that helps differentiate your Trusty attackers from your one-shot kills. And that's why they have a good attack type matchup, because more stamina than the other attacks. So main one, Phoenix Wing, 160 Rush. Very reliable combo, very good combo. Moving on, Eldrago. Now with the release of Eldrago, you have choices for your Trusty Attack. Usually your Trusty Attack was only Phoenix Wing. Only Phoenix Wing. But now Eldrago, you can choose to run it. Upper mode, Eldrago, by the way. This one, a video coming out soon on this, by the way, is Eldrago 360 Gear Point. They kind of perform the same. It will do really good high win rate against your one-shot kills, but not so good win rate against your defense. But that's how it's meant to be. All right. So yeah. Moving on, you've got your Trusty Defense. Trusty Defense. In Beyblade X, you have something called, not something, but you reshuffle your deck, right? You reshuffle your deck and you pick one at random. So these guys are really good at getting 1 point, right? And sometimes that's just enough to win the games. So when you reshuffle, maybe you're on 4 points, your opponent's on 4 points, you usually put this person in because you think they're going to do well. And that's their job. Right now, there's really only 2 that are good at this. And you're thinking, oh, why don't I just run 3 attack? It's because they're so good at getting 1 point. It's more worth it to use a slot for at least one Trusty Defense Beyblade than another attack type Beyblade. All right? Because these guys still have decent attack type matchups for both. But there's always a chance in Beyblade X to just get over finish or extreme finish, which costs you a lot of points. That's why I don't suggest playing 2 defense, because that chance is actually quite high. And I've done it before, and it was not worth it. So your main one, last format, probably was the best Beyblade. Still is the best Beyblade, but very close. Second is the Dragoon. Anyways, lots of counters now for Wizard Rod. 960 ball. So yeah, 960 is probably the best defense ratchet. I mean, it has one of the lowest burst resistances, which allow you to use low burst resistance bits, like ball, which is probably the best bit in the game. So yeah, 960, you want to always be using your 960 on your defense bays, because your defense tips have low burst resistance. Meanwhile, don't be wasting, I know Phoenix is good with 960 as well, but don't be wasting your slot of 960, the best ratchet basically, on an attack type, because your attack type's either going to knock out or burst. It doesn't really matter. It matters more on your defense base, because they're going to be taking all the hits as well. And they can knock out, but they have very low knockout potential. All right, the next is Dragoon. So Dragoon, people used to play it on point. Now it's got that really broken Dragoon 560 Elevate. Check out our video on Dragoon 560 Elevate. You'll see that it's arguably tied the best combo in the game. Fortunately, I don't have Elevate on me, so I have Glide. This is a decent, like alternative, but nothing can really replicate Dragoon Elevate. Glide is also another okay bit for defense, but most of the time you want to be running Orb, Hexa, or of course ball. So yeah, why would you pick Dragoon over Wizard Rod? Because Wizard Rod is the a trusty 1 point getter. Well, Dragoon spins left, and that really is the reason why Dragoon Elevate is such a good combo, because of that spin equalization. It makes the attack type matchup really favorable, and it can outspin Rod, which is crazy because this is probably the best stamina type right now. So yeah, Dragoon or Rod are probably your choices. Okay, and same goes for Eldrago over Phoenix. They both kind of function the same. They perform the same. They can get these huge knockouts. They can easily beat other attack types. They struggle against what's it called? Defense base. Why would you pick Eldrago over Phoenix or Phoenix over Eldrago? Well, the choice is really up to you. Personally, I'm going to try testing out Eldrago because it spins left. And because it spins left, it gives you a way better chance in the attack type matchup than just Phoenix. Anyways, next are your one-shot kills. Probably the most exciting bays. And yeah, they have the potential to get the most points, but they have the potential to lose you the most points as well. As you can see, by the type of Beyblades, you know how they perform. You just launch them as hard as you can. Try and smack them. Smack the opponent's Beyblade. Get an over finish or an extreme finish if you're lucky. Not the best like against the strong trusty attack types in their matchup, because most of the time they might survive, and because they're moving around, they might dodge some shots, and yeah, we'll just lose. But because your defense types are stationary, it's so much easier to land a hit and so much easier to get a knockout. So what other bays you want to be running? Well, if you guys haven't watched this video, check it out. Whale 160 flat. It's a good video showcasing thorough testing. So Whale. Funny thing is, Whale can also act as your trusty attack type, but building it in a one-shot kill way is actually pretty decent. So I know 160 is here. 160 can make the claim to be the best Ratchet. I know 160 is on the Phoenix, and I said it's a trusty attack type, but 160 is definitely a one-shot kill type of Ratchet. Because not the best stamina when you get into a stamina battle, but it gives insane attack power, and the main thing is that it can hop out of pockets. It can help your Beyblade hop out of pockets. So instead of losing 2 or 3 points, you only lose 1 point. It comes up a lot, by the way. And it's perfect for these one-shot kills, because these one-shot kills will either get sent flying or send the opposing Beyblade flying. So if you got a safety net, like 160, it's very useful. So yep, Whale, heaviest Beyblade makes sense, right? Put the heaviest Beyblade blade on, put an unbalanced Ratchet, and then put a decent tip like flat on, and it's just gonna hit things. They kind of perform all the same, all these one-shot kills. And the next one, Shark Edge 360 flat. Watch our video on Shark Edge 360 flat. You'll see how crazy this thing is. One of the first releases, and it's still good. And of course, I don't have it on me right now, but Dran Buster is another really good option. 160 flat is a really good build on it. Same kind of thing. It just hits very hard. And that's the point of the one-shot kills, because you're trying to maximize on the points you gain rather than simply win 1 point. So these guys mostly focus on winning 1 point, and then you have a kind of a flex spot for your third choice. And the best third choice is to have these crazy one-shot kill attack combos. So which one over the other? It kind of depends on the parts you're using. Because you see, like, this one using 160, Phoenix using 160, Eldrago using 360. Those are probably the most common ratchets for a Trusty Attack type. So you can't repeat parts. So as you see, if I go Phoenix, I'm forced to go Kill Shark. If I go Eldrago, I'm forced to go Whale. It's kind of like that. And the bits, you'll see that they're both flat. Even for Buster, I said to use flat. And why? That's because flat is one of the best attack tips in the game. It has aggression, is very aggressive, but has good stamina. It has good stamina, and that heightens the performance against other attack types. But it still has decent aggression to get knockouts on your the defense base. Most of the time, they're aided by the shape like Shark Edge and Buster. So yeah. So what other bays can we use? So these 6 are probably the best 6 to choose to deck build. I'm gonna be honest. Phoenix, Dragoon, Shark, Eldrago, Wizard Rod, and Whale. These are the best 6 Beyblades out right now. Upper mode Eldrago. And you can make a really good deck out of this. But what other blades can you use to be more spicy and all that? Well, Buster is definitely a pick. It's a really good attack. The next one is Tyrannobeat. Now, Tyrannobeat is kind of interesting because it can be all 3. It's not the best pure attack type, but it's a decent counter attack defense, kind of like Dragoon. And depending on the bit you use on it, it can be a decent 3rd spot attack. Next, Leon Crest. I know we keep shit talking Leon Crest, but I've kind of grown to understand that this thing is alright if you build it correctly. So one that really comes up is Point, and that makes it a nice counter attack defense type Beyblade. And then another good one is Hell's Chain. This is kind of falling out of the meta though, I must confess. Simply because of power creep. But the shape is still excellent and it still holds up if you run Hexa on it. Yeah. So, you know some alternative bays. You know the best bays. What about your bits and ratchets? Well, as you can see here, more or less the same. You kind of have to use your 960 spot because 960 literally makes the case for the best ratchet in the game. One of the lowest burst resistances, and it helps out a lot of bays like Unicorn Sting, for example, where it has a bit of height on the blade. So that means it's a bit exposed, making it more prone to bursting. So it's really good to help bays like that. Funnily enough, I don't know if it's purposeful, but Beyblade X, Takara Tomy, they did a really good job at balancing a lot of things. 960, not so good on Whale. Also, not so good on Eldrago. But it's really good on Rod. It's basically the only thing you should run on Rod. And Phoenix. Next, 360, Trusty Ratchet. You know, lowest height and 360 good burst resistance. Great on your attack types. And it's a really good choice if you want to build your trusty attack types. Next, 160, probably one of the most exciting bits in the game. Makes another case for the best because it really heightens your attack type Beyblades, both offensively and defensively. As said before, gives you a punch, but also can save you from a stadium out. And yeah, bits. Oh, wait. Let me talk about more ratchets you can run. 380 ain't bad. If you're already using your 360 and you must use the 3 ratchet, 380 isn't bad. 970, kind of same thing as 960. If you're already using your 960 and you must use your 960, 970 is there. 760 is an excellent choice. I personally like it on whale. It's a decent ratchet and helps balance stuff out, and it's got a decently good burst resistance. 580. So as you can see, I didn't really talk about it because there's only a few blades who can harness it, but Dragoon, the best ratchet you can put on Dragoon is 560. If you have another Beyblade that uses 560, say like Eldrago, you can use your 580 as well. Next, 180 kind of performs the same as a 160. So if you must use another one-sided ratchet, but you're already using your 160, you can use 180. It's got the same performance, but it depends on the blades you choose, right? So you could go Phoenix 160 Rush, and then you might go, sorry, it's better this way. If you want to use Whale 160 flat, you might go Phoenix 180 Rush and things like that. Now bits. So of course the best defense bit probably is Ball. You can get away with using Orb. Orb is really good as well, but I personally like Ball on Wizard Rod. It gives it more stamina for sure. The other defense slash stamina bit you can use is Hexa. Hexa's pretty decent. Unlike a lot of the other defense and stamina bays, you can see it has a higher burst resistance, which is really useful. So Hexa is a good shout for a bit. Run it on your things like Hell Scythe, and you can try running it on Tyranno Beat. It's pretty good on Tyranno Beat. Okay, now you've got your attack bits. So the best one you probably have to use is flat. Definitely use it if you're going to use something like Keel Shark. It gives it a bit more stam. Or on Whale, it also gives it a bit more stam because those things topple over really easily. So flat is really good. But if you want pure aggression, you just want to pull hard on your winder launcher, low flat is a good option. You do need a fresh low flat. As you could see before, my low flat's pretty beat up. So low flat, super aggressive but horrid stamina. But it works. It works. I must say it does work. And it gives your bays a really high chance to knock out those defense types, those heavy defense types. Next, you've got Rush. A really good bit. High stamina, good aggression. However, I must say it's not the best on Whale and Eldrago, because these things, the stamina is not the best on these blades and they can really fall over. Funnily enough, Rush is really good on Wizard Rod, so you can actually run Wizard Rod as an attack type. It is viable. I have lost to a lot of Wizard Rod attack types. Next, I don't have it on me, but Elevate, best defense stamina tip in the game, one of the best bits in the game on your Dragoon. Or if you want to test it out, watch our super spicy Drigger 480 Elevate video. You can see that thing has potential, but it also showcases how good Elevate really is. Okay, and then next, Cyclone. So this is the Dragoon bit. It's pretty good actually. I don't really know how to describe it. It's aggressive, but it has decent stamina. I must say, testing on Eldrago, it helps it stand up and spin equalize better. But Gear Point is just a better bit for it. But it's good on bays like Tyranno Beat and things like that. Next one is Unite. I don't have it on me right now, but Unite is also a really good bit. Unite is really good on Keel Shark. Once again, Keel Shark doesn't have the best stamina, so Unite allows it to have a bit more life. The other bit I don't have on me right now is Point. Point is really good for counterattack. It's excellent on Dragoon, Leon, Crest, and Eldrago. Next, finally, your two tapers. Taper is alright. It's pretty good if you want that kind of aggression. High taper, however, is a really interesting bit because it's good on random bays like Wizard Rod. Gives it a bit of stamina. And I've been testing it out on like Dragoon, Eldrago, a bunch of these attack types, and it gives it a lot of stamina. So just to wrap up, in conclusion, you want in your deck building process 2 attack, 1 defense. Your first attack is your Trusty Attacker. That's going to get you points. It's going to secure you points. You're confident and you're going to put it in early. Next are your one-shot kills. They're going to be your high point getters, so high risk, but high reward as well. So high reward in your points, high risk of getting knocked out and losing you a lot of points. And then you got your Trusty Defense. Your Trusty Defense, you're going to send it in. You think you're going to get a point. So yeah, that's how it is. And these are the best bays you can use right now. Whale, Keel Shark for your for your one-shot kills. Dragoon, Wizard Rod for your Trusty Defense. And Eldrago, Phoenix for your Trusty Attack. So that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more competitive Beyblade X content.